The Deinotherium latest edition by Garuga has finally been added to the base game, bringing with it a range of helpful abilities, new buffs in supporting creatures out there, and especially looking at boss fights. The question remains, as the base game version it is now, how powerful is it? You're right, kids, it's Raasclark. Welcome back to the island. Well, there's elephants out there, big giant elephants for us to tame. But how do we tame them? Where do we tame them? And how good are they? Let's all find out together, shall we? Let's go! So, having played with these plenty of times in the past, I've got a rough idea of what to expect. I'm expecting they are tamed exactly the same way. I'm very interested, though, in how these are going to be tamed with 1x rates. And that's what we'll be doing with 1x rates. And you'll see in the bottom right hand of me slots, there is a certain resource you're going to need to tame these. That is beer that you can brew in your beer barrels, put some water jars in them. Hey presto, you've got beer. And that is all you should need to tame these. If you don't know, the Deinotherium has been added to the island. Scorched Earth, the Center, Extinction and Aberration. We found some in this location right here, which seems to suggest they're replacing maybe Stego? Bronto? Spawns? Ads? Well, let's find out what we got. We got a 55 over there. And... oh, 140. Perfect. Not too bad base stats there. 22, 24, 22 in health, 24 points in melee. That's not a bad start to deal with. And hopefully, this is going to be straightforward. So, all we need to do is get close enough for it to sniff us out, as it's doing there. Do the sniff animation. And now we're going to wait. And wait for it to do 3 animations. That was a head shake. And an ear flap. Another ear flap. We're waiting for a 3rd animation. Another ear flap. There's a sniff. And that should be, with the head shake we got at the start, that should be enough. So if you run underneath it now, get right under its trunk. And there we go. It takes a beer off us. Being tamed for how much? 8.5% of the 140 at 1% rates. Gonna need a lot of beer. Right, there's a head shake. Even with all of these animations, I believe there is still a chance of you being successful. So it's worth noting you may need to run. There's the ear flap. And it wasn't happy. So we'll back off. With the Deinotheriums, as long as you've got a bit of elevation above it, it should chill out pretty quickly. It's when it's got its ears pinned back, it's not engage. Wait for its ears to pop out, because it ain't too pleased. And if it's in buff mode like it is now, definitely don't attempt to tame it. If it's got its trunk tucked, I believe that's a bad sign. That's our head shake. Looking for an ear flap and a sniff now. There is still a percentage chance, I believe, with each of these 3 different animations, each offering a higher percentage of chance. But the idea being that if you can get all 3 animations in, you're going to have a higher chance at getting a beer fed. Right now, because it's only doing the 1 animation, we've got a very small chance. So we're just waiting for another animation. And we'll prove it here, I guess. Let's give it a crack. Once we get... But it's good to see that its buff is still there. It's still in the base game. I'm surprised and I'm curious if it's still as powerful as it was. There we go, right. There's one. There's that head swing. There's the sniff. If we get an ear flap, we're in. I might give it a whirl. Let's go for see, 1 more animation and we'll give it a whirl. Oh, that's it then. And that should be a feed right under its nose. There we go. And we're fed. And that's about where you're aiming, right under its tusks. It has got the buff on, so this might be a bit dodge. But for science, we might go in with 2 animations rather than 3. Right, screw it. Go on, let's go. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we got lucky then. It only did 2 of the 3 animations, but because it was a percentage chance, we still managed to get a feed in. Alright, we have to go. We have to go. Give it a whirl. Nope. There's definitely a range, like, it's kind of like a bit of trial and error with the range, like you'll get it after a bit. Okay, he's not ready, let's go. So its trunk sucks back, so we'll back off. Its ears are pinned back now, so not too happy. But we can probably still have a move. But I believe its ears pinned back lowers the chance it's working. But we'll see what happens here. So that's all 3 animations. And it did the thing, look. So it stuns you, which can definitely prove a problem. In the knowledge that it stuns you, the question is, does it stun you when ridden? Head shake. Alright, one more. Yeah, whoa. And done! 210. But this one looking pretty clean. Granted us a wonderful dossier to tell us all about what this does, because once tamed, they are no easy feat. But will provide some powerful morale boosting calls, meaning this is very much the Deinotherium that we know. It even tells you with the dossier what to look for. It says, avoid it when it's got its trunk pulled back, avoid it when it's got its ears pinned back, and wait for those 3 animations. Sniff, ear waggle, and head shake. Granted us 41 in melee, 30 in health. That is top tier on the melee at the very least. So, what do they do? Well, once you've got the saddle unlocked at level 85 and you've got a bit of pace, a bit of metal, more wood than anything else, and hide and fibre, get yourself over to a smithy, get crafting. And you've got a pretty monolithic creature. I mean, kicking off with this thing having 12k health off the bat ain't bad. But definitely got a few cool tricks up its sleeve. So, there's a left click attack that will harvest you berries. And lots of them. Making this a wonderful go-to berry gatherer if you choose to. You've got a right click attack that will grant you a wealth of woods, very much like a mammoth, but there is a cooldown on its right click attack. By holding down, jump and looking backwards, you'll do a stomp attack, which will produce that stun that you saw earlier. And C will bellow out a war cry, introducing a defense rally, which offers 5% less incoming damage, but that's with just simply a female, because when coupled with a mate pair, things get a bit more interesting, because the male, I'm pressing the C attack, produces a attack rally, offering 15% melee damage. You can have up to 3 all doing defense rallies. There you go. There's all the buffs going off right now. Each one offering a stacked 5% less incoming damage, which means you can combine 15% damage reduction and 15% attack damage. 15% damage reduction and 15% attack damage. But that is limited to 3 females. You won't find that stacking anymore with any more females. Well, now we've got a female and a male. All that's left to is get these mating, which, as you'd imagine, as you'd expect, they are mammals, so you're going to be finding some gestation with these. So once hitting 100%, we'll have a gestation there. There we go. Obviously, my breeding rates are insanely boosted just to help speed up the process here to get a breeding army. So whilst these are breeding to get ourselves a perfect statted pair, here's a pre-made saddle in a red drop. 88 armor, that's pretty tip-top. Very nice. What else is it? Oh, Indy Cooker. And a rocket turret. Pretty cheeky drop. There, indeed. And we just got another Deinotherium saddle in here, in this red drop here, as well as another in this drop. But no BP yet. Strangely, it feels like BPs are rarer than they used to be. Hey, there we go. Mastercraft Deinotherium saddle in a red drop. Not the best in the world. 60 is okay. Maybe it's something we can work with. So we've now got our perfect breeding pair on the go. We've 40 in health, 43 in melee with the 2 of them. But whilst we're waiting for them to pop out a bunch of babies, let's go and take a few out. 250, 250. 250, 250. Right then, so imprinted and unleveled. I'm curious to see how we're going to get on with these. Oh, and we got a mutation. Look at this. I like that. I like that colour mutation, that colour region. That's cool. I'm pretty sure these, unlike the Yeti, which of course has got its own raw buff, and if you don't know, yes, it does stack. The elephants should do the buff on their own. Right. There we go. One's just whistled. There's the rally. There's the defense rally. I think we'll hold H to make this a bit easier. Alright, get them whistled. And 1 or 2 of these should do the rally. Let's have a look at it. There we go. There's all those stacked rallies going off. Getting buffed as well. Buffing each other. Oh, doing some fantastic damage. Look at that. It'd help if I've got damage numbers up with it. Right, here we go. Let's see him have a crack now. Looks like they're getting alpha buffed. Kind of want to see him have a crack at this raptor. These archers are all being alpha buffed. I don't know what Deinotherium there's doing. I'm sure there's a raptor down there somewhere. That's some pretty top tier damage though off the bat. Right, let's have a crack at this raptor. So this is unleveled, don't forget. Did they just kill it in one swoop? Holy crap. Go on, get busy. Get those buffs in. Oh my god, look at that. That's unleveled! That was 900! Ah, just absolutely disgusting. Okay, let's try it against something big. I can't get over this. So leveling one up, and I've checked this. And I've checked, I haven't got some stats that are changing these, but with 40 health and 43 in melee, the stats go up pretty phenomenally. Watch. That's 40k health, easily hit. almost 1k melee with all points. Okay, well, just over 900 melee. That's insane. And I've just double checked everything to see if I'm doing something wrong, if I've messed up something, because I had to reset all of my options recently, and this seems to be accurate. So we got a car here with 71k health. It's a 140. I wouldn't mind taming this, to be quite honest with you. But hey. Oh, well, I guess we'll have one fighting. Oh my god, look at that. That's dealing 1500 damage. Now it's got the rally as well. Let's see. That's the defense rally. This is one. That stomp attack doing 1500. That is revolting. I honestly think one's going to stand up to it on its own. Hey, one's finally figured out how to get down. Almost there. Dude, can't. Look at the state of this. Car already looking super bloody. Elephant struggling to get towards it at the moment. They've pushed it, notably, all the way back here. Come on, kids. What you doing? Honestly, it's over before I can even get there, mate. Before I can even get a look in. They're absolutely ruining this. No. Oh, there we go. Take it down with absolute ease. Okay, well, we need to see what this is like against the next things then. 55, 80k health, but you know, that bleed sucks. But the elephants are rolling out. Decided to get themselves stuck on a rock. Right, run. Coming in. Dealing fantastic damage there. The four of them. Blood already being shown on the Giga. We can see exactly where this is going. The Giga looking done already. Looks to be a bit of blood fetched on one of the Deinotheriums there, but they are putting in the work. I can't get over this. Oh, wow. And done. Giga down and out. And did you notice that they harvested the Giga? Didn't see that until now. We got a pack buff. We got a +3 pack buff on these. They do harvest meat as well as berries. Are they? Well, okay, that doesn't technically. I assume they're a herbivore. They have to be a herbivore, right? Which doesn't necessarily make them a herbivore. In fact, they don't seem to be eating that meat. Let me just drop this food a bit and see. Just wanted to double check there because I thought it was kind of odd, but they do seem to be harvesting meat. Don't eat meat. They are definitely just herbivores. But fascinating there, you can harvest meat with these as well, making these a very versatile harvester for berries, wood, thatch, and meat. And seeing that they've done so well here and seeing that they're herbivores, I think I know what we're about to expect. And we're all in. I don't know whether we got them all in. We've got no idea. Look at it! Oh my, there's no way. I don't feel scared in the slightest. Alright, so the roar's going off. They're all roaring. Like, I can't even. Oh my god. A bit worried we're really close to that gap there. As long as they're fighting, that's fine. Look at this thing. Just swamped. Surrounded got veggie cakes on them to allow them to heal up because they're herbivores. I assume veggie cakes are working. Don't know. Rocking those levels you saw earlier, the stats you saw earlier. There is one elephant there. It's looking a little bit ropey. There is a bit of this one here. I don't know whether I've messed up leveling up or something. Barely an issue. I can't believe how well they're dwarving this thing. Are these possibly the biggest creatures right now in base allowed to fight bosses? I don't think I've ever seen a boss this size, this small in comparison. And dead. Done. Monkey. Obliterated. And they do eat veggie cakes. This one I actually forgot to put veggie cakes on. That's why this one was bleeding. Looks like that was my only downfall. The rest eating veggie cakes. Then normally I would only level up to 21. But you know what? I thought, because I got so much health to play with, I'm just going to go a bit wild and go even further. Slaying it. 264 elements. I'm expecting a 3 for 3. Let's find out. Right, let's see this stomp attack. Oh, it is. It's the stomp attack that's doing that extra damage. That's revolting. Oh, the brew's getting slain. Throwing in that stomp. Oh my god! Look at him. The veggie cake's really doing a lot of health here. It's crazy how well swallowed these bosses are. Surely the next one can't look the same. But this one, swallowed whole by a bunch of elephants. Look at that. Oh, done. Absolutely done. With much damage, let's have a look at the brunt. Take that. Right, let's have a look at the closest ones. Anybody that was close getting some decent damage. Veggie cakes. Veggie cakes, once again, it really does come in. If you don't know, if I didn't make it clear, veggie cakes heals any herbivores. Up to a certain percent. Up to a certain amount. Which caps at 21. Okay. After what we've just seen, I'm not worried. After what we know, we're fighting dragon with herbivores, and what we did with mammoths way back, and now we've got even harder hitting elephants. I've got no concern. This is my only problem, is getting stuck in a place. There we go, everyone. Great. Start. Well, they're putting the work in. Flaming elephants all surrounding this thing. Look at that! What a sight! In a lovely patch. Doing some wonderful damage. Those veggie cakes really helping out a lot. We've barely nothing left. Oh, there it is. Big Jack 2. Susanoo. Dragon! Bust! Ah, look at the health. Veggie cake, man. Veggie cake and herbivores. These are absolute boss fighters. Though You may not want the full set because they're just too blooming big. But wonderful creatures, look amazing. Go tame them. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always,